Torah is just a long string of numbers. Some say that it's a code sent to us from God.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's just kid stuff. Check this out, okay? The word for the Garden of Eden, Kedem. Numerical translation, 144. Now the value of tree of knowledge, all right, in the garden, right? Eitz HaChaim, 233. 144, 233. And you can
Those
take
are
those
Fibonacci
numbers. So the
You know, like the Fibonacci sequence.
Fibonacci.
Fibonacci is an Italian mathematician in the 13th century. If you divide 144 into 233, the result approaches theta.
Theta?
Theta. Greek symbol for golden ratio, golden spiral.
Wow. I never saw that before. That's like that series you find in nature? Like the face of a sunflower?
Where are the spirals?
You see this math everywhere.
Welcome back to the Gnostic Informant, and you're about to attain true gnosis. And I just figured today would be a great day to jump into some Greek intensive course with Professor Stephen here.
Stephen Nelson, Cross
yeah,
Bible.
we got 2 hours to burn before this Game of Thrones or House of Dragons starts.
House of the Dragon, yeah.
Let's get that going. Anything you wanted to say before we start?
I just want to say before we start a few things. I'm cross-streaming this to crossbible.com, so if you're catching it over there, hello. We're doing this on 2 streams. So we're going through Hansen and Quinn's Greek intensive course because this is one of the textbooks that Neil and I have been using for about a year, but we also use Athenaze. So Athenaze is sort of our more modern approach to second language acquisition. The Hansen and Quinn textbook is very tedious. It was published in, I think, 1979, 1980. It's sort of old school grammar translate method approach. But because it was what Neil was already doing when we first met, he had already gone through the three or four units. I decided to keep him on that, but then sort of
I just wanted to
bootstrap with this.
And the only reason why you and I did 1 through 3 we did?
Yeah.
I just wanted to compare how you taught 1 through 3. I wanted to see how 2 different people taught it. It was interesting to see that.
What was the contrast?
What was the difference?
Yeah, like what was your impression?
Amin's whole approach is it's like memorize this stuff. Like, here's what the book says, just memorize it. There wasn't and then I would be like, so why does the accent go here? Why does this get into cute and that one gets a grave accent? And he was like, that's just the way they have it. Just memorize it. He just knows the answer but doesn't know why it's the answer. And that kind of explains a lot of what he's doing with his methodology. of how he thinks there's like these letter families that they're all related because they have a couple of consonants in common or something, or he'll think you can go into lexicons and find other usages and apply it to wherever you want to apply it. You can just see he doesn't understand the inner workings of this language very much. He's just been doing it for a long time, and it's led to what we're seeing. It's led to very lazy, borderline dishonest, but actually just dishonest methods and stuff like that.
Well, I think so. What's the contrast for like Athena's and Hansen and Quinn?
Gets you to read and understand rather than to translate like it's a technical job. And I actually recommend Thrasymachus. It's another book that's kind of like Hansen and Quinn, but I think it's better. I don't know. I just like it better.
It's a reader. It's along the lines of Athena's in terms of methodology.
Yeah, but I think it's like sort of in the middle because it has a lot of the translate drills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I have that one on myself. I work on that one by myself. That's the one I want to recommend to people if they want to just do that. If they want a Hansen and Quinn type of thing, because it's like you said, Athena's is like they throw a bunch of reading at you and you're reading and then you're getting used to, like, they throw the story of what's his name, what's the main character's name again? In
Dicaeopolis.
Yeah. They throw his story, poor Dicaeopolis, and you read about this guy, but like it's like you're literally reading kindergarten stuff. It's like I'm going back to. That's what I would say about Athena's A. Hansen and Quinn is like throwing a bunch of technical shit at you, and you're trying to memorize, you're trying to cram it all in, and it's like a job.
They throw the kitchen sink at you like in chapter 2.
It becomes like a job, like you're trying to figure it out and solve it, which is fine. You can learn that way. Athena's A brings you back to you're like in kindergarten, starting over from day one. Dicaeopolis, he was a farmer. He was sad. He went home, and then you like learn that really. You like get that embedded, and then you start getting more and more like advanced sentences thrown at you, and then eventually, like now when I'm going through Loeb and I'll read the translation, and I'm reading a good translation because if it's in Loeb, it's there for a reason. It's from one of the best scholars from whatever time period. So I'm reading a standard translation, but oftentimes I'll switch over to the Greek, and I'll be able to read it, and I'll notice myself being like, holy shit, I just read that sentence with no issue, like I'm reading it. So I'm getting there. I can see I can see the differences now. You know what I mean?
Well, I started this journey back in 2015. This was my first textbook. Actually, I dug it out. It's Shelmerdin's Introduction to Greek. It's a classical Greek textbook, but it takes a much gentler approach than Hansen and Quinn, and much more gradual. And then this Homeric Greek textbook is also very, very good. So those are what I recommend. This is Far's Homeric Greek. But when I did Hansen and Quinn, I followed along a video course by a professor named Leonard Molnar. And I was pretty appalled by just how like outdated the approach is there. But it's very good reference material. Like this is very, very solid. I'm not saying it's a bad textbook, but we'll see. I think the audience will get a sense of it as we go along, because you did units 1 through 3 in 4 hours. It was like a 4-hour session, right? And then
unit 4 would probably be even slower because it's a lot more.
Yeah. So I think we put in the title that we're going to try to tackle 4 through 6. That's probably not realistic.
Probably 4.
Yeah, but I listened. I tried to listen live to the first three chapters, and my name came up a lot. And I called you afterwards and messaged you to gripe about a few things. So now you have me live to actually go through the process we usually do together.
Yeah, it's always better. It's always better to have someone there. Before we pull it up, we've got one super chat. Ancient Greeks used the Welsh. Y sounds like O. I have no idea. I don't know about Welsh. You're probably right. I have no idea. Do you know anything about Welsh?
No, I don't.
Sure, that's very interesting. I'm sure they know. I'm not doubting. I just don't know, and I think that's interesting because you notice that with like other. I don't know. Is Welsh Indo-European? I think it's Indo-European.
Well, it's a Celtic language, which
Yeah, so it's Indo-European.
is
So
Celtic Indo-European?
yeah, oh yeah, Celtic is Indo-European, right?
Yes,
No?
yeah, it is. It is.
Okay, I was gonna say, I might lose my mind. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. I'm sure they have that. They use those symbols for the same sounds, which is look, for some reason they have the symbol for F for f, where the Greeks use that for w. So sometimes different symbols can have different sounds. So
Well, and we have w, for example, in the word no, right? Which you can hear sometimes if you say it like knowing, but then in no you can't really pick it up. But that w is or was the digamma in ancient Greek, which is which is why nous or noos actually had a w in between noos, because we're cousin languages. So
or RV is their new. No. So sometimes just the V symbol or the V, it's the Greek new and no,
Well, yeah, and that's orthography. Another comment from Sacrilege, Neil, you've admitted that the lexicon has errors and mistakes, and I would just say amen to that. Yeah, it's further up. Sacrilege left. Yeah, so yeah, definitely. All lexicons.
What do you mean by admitted? Like, was that
holding
on to a different position before that?
I don't know. I think the angle here
is that lexicons are not divine oracles by the gods. We need to. It's other scholars from the Victorian era, and you got to remember I'm not saying they're bad, or we need to just doubt everything they're saying. But it doesn't mean everything that's in there is correct, or maybe not correct. Sometimes it's like sometimes there's gray areas, is what I'm saying.
Well, sometimes there's just flat out wrong information in there.
That too. Sometimes there's wrong information. Yeah.
So the book to read on that is called Lexicographica Graeca by John Chadwick. I have a video on my channel all about it. It's called Hebrew versus Greek. It's about the history of Greek lexicography, how basically the Germans built upon what the Byzantines started, and then the Brits translated the German scholarship and built upon that. And in the process, errors slipped in. And that's what John Chadwick writes all about. So if you want to learn about errors in lexicons, that's where you should start.
Yep. And the semicolons matter.
And semicolons matter a whole.
Actually.
Yeah.
There was just that clip, man. That clip from the debate where he was like, "Well, what do you think semicolons mean?" And he was like, "Nothing.
For me, nothing.
For me, nothing." It's like you're literally admitting that you're a horrible scholar. You don't know what you're doing. You literally just admit if you're Luke and you heard that, he's going in Luke's mind, you can tell he's being nice. In Luke's mind, he's like, this guy's not fucking serious. You can tell. You can tell by looking at him. He's like, this guy's not fucking serious at all. This is a joke. But when you say something like that, you're literally just saying, I don't care what the intent of the lexicographer is. I'm making the lexicon. The lexicon is my own. I can do what I want with it. That's that's basically what he's saying.
The lexicon is saying this author uses the word this way. Semicolon, break. This author over here uses it this way, but if you want to be able to mix and match, you got to be able to cross the boundary of that semicolon and pull from another example and apply it somewhere else. For
Ammonite methodology, semicolons are the enemy.
Oh yeah,
they literally debunk. They literally get in your way.
Yeah.
If you want everything to be about drugs and the word pharmacon's on the list of usages, you got to ignore all the semicolons because you want them all to be the same. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, so thank you for that super chat and comments as well. Okay, so we got to start off with the book.
Yes.
And then I just want to show people real quick. Eventually, we'll be able to get to this type of. Oh, wait, that's not it. Anyway, let's do the book first.
Yeah. And
I'll be able to pull up the answer, or not, what is it called, the exercises after.
So normally when we do this, I read through the book.
Actually,
and
can
then
you share your book so you can okay
am
I gonna just follow. I'll follow along with you. I'll do that. We're good.
Okay, so you want me to narrate the book?
I want you, because you're the one, you're kind of bringing me through it, right?
Yeah. So, we're going to start with first declension nouns, right? Because I think units 1 and 2 covered the second declension because those are the most common. So in addition to first declension nouns whose nominative singular ends in eta or a long a, alpha, right? There are others, also feminine, whose nominative singular ends in short a, alpha. Their declension is different only in having a short a in the nominative or vocative and the accusative singular. So the declension we'll go over. In the genitive and dative singular and in all of the cases of the plural, the endings are identical with those of the first declension nouns already learned. So here are the endings. We have the ending a, ace, a, an, right, for the accusative.
So
and then
it's basically saying for first declension nouns, for first declension nouns, masculine and feminine have the same endings.
They split off into two different groups. So if you look, like, go through these words, read off these words for sea, muse, bridge, and fate.
Right here?
Yeah.
Thalata, thalates, and see.
Just
Musa,
yeah.
Muses, muse. Gefura, Gefuras, bridge. Moira, Moiras, fate.
Right. So these are breaking off into different groups when you see the oblique cases. The oblique cases are the genitive and the dative and the accusative. So here you can see that the genitive and the dative have
hold on. You said
the eta.
Oblique is genitive, dative, and
Oblique
accusative?
is anything that's not nominative.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, so it's just a term for non-nominative cases. So in the nominative,
I'm going to use that more.
Yeah, the nominative cases have these alphas, and you basically don't know what's under the surface. But then once you get to the genitive case, you can see that they're falling into groups based on the final consonant of the stem. So in the case of gefura, or I say gefura, right? Or moira, which I say mira, because they end in a rho, the r at the end of the stem, the genitive case is as with a long alpha. But but thalata and musa and end in t and s, and those are getting the eta. So those have genitive tes thalates, right, and then tes muses. But then for gefura and moira, they have the alpha in the genitive and in the dative. But you can see the pattern is that, like, in the nominative and the accusative, they all have alphas, so you can't really tell which family they belong to.
So this still gets.
They're both first declension.
Yeah. So this is still dative. This still gets te, thalate.
It gets a. So the t is part of the stem of the noun. So it's thalat.
No, but I'm saying for dative though.
Yeah, for dative for dative, thalata and musa get the eta with this iota subscript, but then over on the side of the
talk about the definite article.
Oh, for the definite article, it would still be te, right? It would be t. Yeah, exactly.
Saying. So this would. But what about for There's no so there's no masculine then. It's just feminine.
Well, there is a masculine first declension, but right now we're talking about feminine nouns with a nominative singular in short alpha. Yeah. And
this is the accusative. This would get tame.
Yes, if you were going to tack the definite article on there, that's what it would be. And note that these are short alphas, so that in this textbook they don't have the long macron on top of them. If they were long, they would have a long macron on top of them. So in restored pronunciation, the ending would be a instead of ah.
Yeah, short.
Yeah. So let's keep going. So here you can see the plurals in the paradigm are indistinguishable. Here are the endings. You have I, on, ice, as, all the same, right? It's only in the singular, in the dative and the genitive, that you start to pick up these different endings that get tacked on.
Oh, that makes it easier.
In nouns whose stem ends in epsilon, iota, or rho, the endings of the genitive and dative singular have the long a, alpha, instead of the eta, right? The accent, as in all nouns, is persistent. Note, however, that the changes in accent necessitated by the rules for the possibility of accent as the length of the ultima changes. Really awkward sentence in English. Really hard to understand that explanation. As in all first declension nouns, the genitive plural receives a circumflex on the ultima. And so, what's your understanding of persistent accent?
persistent accent? Is it basically that the accent stays in the same place depending on if it's even if it's a different form or different like genitive, if it's a genitive, dative, accusative? Is that basically, like, for example, this is persistent, right? Thalatas, thalatas, right?
Yeah, so persistent means that in the nominative case, wherever the emphasis lands is where the emphasis is going to try to remain. It's going to persist there.
Yeah, that's what I meant. You can tell, right?
Yeah, no, that was a good explanation. But it's going to persist there unless there's a reason for it to move forward.
Yeah.
In contrast, if the accent pattern is not persistent,
for a long vowel, it moves forward.
Yeah, so in this case, in the first declension, we have thalaton. So the accent is actually jumping two places. And that's just a special feature of this particular stress pattern. But you can see thalatai in the nominative versus the dative thalatais. So there you have the long I in the ending thalatais. And that basically has this gravitational field that pulls the stress towards it. Yeah. But otherwise, the stress would want to just stay where it is. And the opposite pattern is called recessive stress, where the stress is trying to pull back as far away from the ending as possible. And so those are the stress patterns that we get. So you can see that you can see gefurai in the plural, and then gefurais, it moves because it's moving towards that long vowel in the end.
Got it.
So then we have the masculine nouns with nominative singular in ace or as, which are basically counterparts to the feminine versions, but with sigmas now. So some first declension nouns are masculine and have a nominative singular ending in ace. When the stem of the noun ends in epsilon, iota, or rho, a nominative singular ending in as with the long alpha. The endings of these nouns differ from those feminine first declension nouns only in the nominative genitive and sometimes vocative singular. In the dative and accusative singular and in all forms of the plural, these masculine nouns have the same endings as feminine first declension nouns. And their endings are, and you can see the endings, ace, u, a, ein, a, versus as, u, I, an, and a, depending on how you pronounce those things. And then in the plural.
First declension?
This is still first declension, but these are masculine first declension nouns. So they're still in the same family, but they have these sigmas at the end of them in the
really?
nominative
So
case.
a masculine first declension noun ends with ace?
Ace or us.
I didn't know that.
So give me the three words.
I always thought this would make this tells you that it's in. Well, I guess it's got a sigma at the end. Okay,
these fit the same pattern as the feminine ones, like like names like Athena, right? Like alpha.
I can tell why it's different.
So what are our three words? Just give me the nominative if you want.
Right here.
Yep.
Polites.
Polites.
Poietes. Poietu.
Mm-hmm.
And then neanias, neaniu.
Yeah, neanias, right? And you can see that they've macronized both of those long alphas, right? So it's neanias, right? Like if you're practicing phonemic vowel length. So you can see the paradigms here are quite contrasting with the feminine, right? You have politis, politu, politi, or polite, politein, polita, right?
Yeah.
And so the alpha endings and the eta endings, like eta sigma, alpha sigma, pretty much look the same. But again, like you can see the dative etas are going to stay eta. The dative alphas are going to stay alpha. They're just going to get those iota subscripts. And in the vocative case, you can see that the etas are turning to alphas. So if you want to say, hey, fellow citizen, you're going to say, oh, polita, right? You're not going to say politi. You're going to say polita. You're going to turn that ace into an a in the vocative. Same thing with poietes, right? Poieta. And then neanias is just going to turn into neania.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And the plural endings are going to look very, very similar to the ones that you see in the previous paradigms, right? You're going to see eyes in the nominative plural. You're going to see on with the circumflex accent, where the stress shifts all the way to the front to the ultimate syllable, and then you're going to see ice consistent in the dative, as consistent in the accusative.
Got it.
So the sigma of the nominative singular ending was borrowed from the nominative singular ending of masculine second declension nouns like anthropos. So they're just telling you that to make these first declension nouns masculine, they tack on a sigma.
That's what I noticed that. Okay, I'm kind of seeing it before it happens. It's good.
Yeah, the genitive singular ending is the same as that of the masculine second declension noun, like anthropou, politou, right? So the ace turns into u, where normally in the second declension we get the os that turns into u, right? And the accent is persistent, but as in all first declension nouns, the genitive plural receives a circumflex on the ultima, meaning that emphasis shifts all the way to the final vowel in the sequence. As in all other nouns.
Singular, though.
What?
And so genitive singular, it's saying, wait, hold on. It's saying genitive singular ending is the same. Okay, all right. And then it says, but in the genitive plural, it gets a circumflex. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, I mean, scroll up to the page before that. Let me just illustrate something real quick. So you see politou, the accent persists there. It doesn't move forward. The reason you have the circumflex at the end of poietou, like the poet, is because the stress is already in the ending. So when the stress is already there, it gets a circumflex in that genitive ending u.
Plural. It just gets it literally it's the same letters but just a circumflex.
Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily.
In ancient Greek manuscripts, you probably couldn't even tell. You'd only be able to tell by context.
We are reading the Byzantine writing convention right now. So that's the irony is we're reading
it's so ironic because if you found an ancient manuscript from 200 BC, and it literally would have no stress marks at all, and you would see this word, and you couldn't tell if it was plural or not or singular. But you'd only be able to tell by the context.
Well, you would be able to tell that it's genitive plural. You just wouldn't be able to tell which syllable has the emphasis or the stress. There would be no this whole system would be something you would just memorize.
Right. Never mind, it's a different.
But right now, just so everybody's clear, we are studying Attic Greek, not Koine or Hellenistic or Biblical Greek. This is Attic Greek, but through the lens of Byzantine Greek. So we're using Byzantine conventions to study Attic Greek. Which is, interesting. So the accent's persistent as in all the forms. Let's see. In nouns whose stem ends in epsilon, iota, or rho, the endings of the nominative, dative, and accusative singular all have the long a, alpha, instead of a. And in the vocative singular of these nouns, the long a appears instead of a short a. So it's nea, nia, right? So if you're going you're just pausing a little bit longer on that vowel if you're using phonemic vowel length. I don't personally use phonemic vowel length. I don't think you do either, but we at least acknowledge that it exists. Note that the accusative plural of these nouns is identical with the nominative singular. Context will determine the meaning. Very, very important. Some nouns with nominatives in ace employ the vocative singular ending a instead of a. These nouns will be noted when they occur. So does that make sense, this vocative thing?
Yeah.
So in the vocative, like
to an a to an a.
Yeah, so it's like instead of poietes, when you're saying hey poet, you would say hey poeta.
Yeah.
And that's just what you say when you're calling out to the poietes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nothing like too complex there.
Just as all forms of the article and the noun have gender, number, and case, so do all forms of the adjective. Like the article, the adjective must agree in gender, number, and case with the noun which it modifies. This grammatical agreement does not require that the endings of the adjective and noun always be identical in form. Compare the examples with which follow the paradigms below. The adjectives presented in this section have endings either of the first and second declension or the second declension alone. They fall into two groups. There are three ending adjectives with separate sets of endings for each of the three genders. And then there are two ending adjectives with one set of endings for both masculine and feminine and another set of endings for the neuter. Now, this sounds really complicated. The funny thing is the two categories we're dealing with are two ending adjectives versus three ending adjectives. And in Greek grammatical terminology, these are called Dikatalikta and trikatalikta. They actually have terms for this. And because we don't have a term to describe this in English, we're just describing them as
I or try, right?
you could say, yeah, like try ending, by ending, but these are two different categories of adjectives. The three ending ones are the ones that you're generally used to, especially in the second declension. So three ending adjectives of the first and second declensions are like agathos, good, right? Because you have the ability to say that, hey, agathe thea, the good goddess, right? You can put that into the feminine. Whereas the ones that have two endings, you only have that os ending, and that's it. You have to use that to modify feminine adjectives. You can't, they don't take the eta in the feminine. So except for the accent on the vocative singular, the masculine endings are the same as those of adelphos, brother. The feminine endings are the same as those of psyche, soul.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean the same?
They have the same ending. So it's os, a, and on. Os, a, and on. Okay. It's basically, it's the familiar territory that you're used to with like 99% of all adjectives.
Nothing has changed in this one yet. Yeah, I got it.
And then the other case is axios, right, which is worthy, which is further down.
Down
so
here.
you can see axios, that is the same pattern, but it ends in long alpha. So it's axios, axia, right, where the stress is moved, axia, and then axion for the neuter. So it's the same pattern, just with alpha instead of eta, because alpha and eta systematically alternate, especially in different dialects, right?
Yeah.
So when the stem of the first and second declension,
the healer, yatros and yatros.
Yeah, it's like the difference between Attic and Doric, or Attic and it's Attic and Doric. When the stem of the first and second declension adjectives end in epsilon, iota, or rho, the feminine singular ending have the long a, alpha, instead of a. The final oi and I in the masculine and feminine nominative plural count as short for the purpose of accentuation. So if you notice, it says axioi for the plural of worthy. It doesn't say axioi, because the oi there, even though it's long, even though it's a diphthong, for the purpose of accentuation, it doesn't have that gravity to pull the stress over onto the iota. So it just, the stress mark can stay on the antepenultimate syllable and not get pushed over into
but it's supposed to, though, right?
This is a weird feature of Greek, that oi and I, even though technically they're long, they're not quite long enough to pull the stress over to them. They don't. Okay. For the purpose of what the textbook says, and what's commonly used as the explanation, is that for the purpose of accentuation and stress pattern, we consider those to be short, even though technically they're, it takes a little bit longer to say oi and I, because they're diphthongs. They're a little bit, they're by nature long syllables, but they don't do the same thing as oo and omega, right? Like those will pull the stress over to them. So then we have these two ending adjectives of the second declension, like adikos, right? Which is unjust. And here you can see that adikos, even though that os ending screams masculine, and you're going to see it and you're going to assume it's masculine most of the time, whenever you're going to say the unjust goddess, what are you going to say? Hey.
Wait, what's the question?
The unjust goddess.
So hey dikai.
No, unjust.
Hey adikai. Hey adike.
No, adikos is the masculine and the feminine.
Oh, so it's hey adikos.
Yeah, it's hey adikos thea, the unjust goddess. And when you're a beginner, this feels really awkward, because you're like, it should be hey adike thea.
That's what you said, yeah.
Yeah, and so your instinct,
my logic was correct.
Yeah.
To go there. Yeah.
Your instinct is correct that that's what we want Greek to do, but Greek doesn't obey us. It has its own rules, and this is this is something that gets regularized. So you will find, like in later Hellenistic Greek, some of these traditional two ending adjectives that normally would have the same form in the masculine and feminine. you'll find in later Hellenistic Greek, like in the Bible and later literature, and especially later Byzantine scribes, they will actually create forms like adike. And it's from the perspective of Attic Greek, that would be totally wrong and incorrect. But in later Greek, you see that kind of thing where the language becomes more simplistic.
So right here is basically saying masculine, feminine.
Yeah, masculine, feminine. So basically, there's only two sets of endings. There's the masculine, feminine version, and there's the neuter version, and the same thing in the plural. And it's like, in a sense, it's like it's more simple this way, but it's more complicated because you have to like, you have to say, hey, adikos, tes adiku, te adikoi, and and like you have to pair these, it's like the second declension feminine. It's the same phenomenon where it's like you're running through these endings that feel masculine, but they actually are feminine. So then we get to
well, let me just one more thing on that.
Yeah.
The only way the way you can tell is just by the definite article. That's it.
No, not necessarily, because it might be indefinite. So it might be an
describing something, right?
Like an unjust goddess, an unjust goddess would be just general, like some goddess who's unjust. In that case, it would be
Adikos thea.
Perfect. Bravo.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
But no, but you still have the thea to tell you that though. So there is
Yes.
some context there.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
Yeah.
it's whatever it's modifying. You just look at what it's modifying, and if what it's modifying is a feminine noun, then there is agreement. You don't need to take the os and do anything with it. You don't need to turn it into an eta like you would for most, second.
You there? You just freeze? Lost him for a second. I guess I'll check out what the chat's saying for a while. He's coming back. They know how to assign genders to words. Yeah, they do. I mean, we sometimes do it, don't we? We do it in English though. I think we have like, oh yeah, we have like actor, actress. We have that. We have gendered language in English. Not as much though as Greek does. Greek really, they have it in the word the changes. Like we say the actress. They say, hey, what's the word for actress in Greek? They would just say, hey, actress. Like the word the literally changes into a feminine word. So they really make it's really gendered language. Yeah. He should be coming back any second. Let me see. Oh, he's still not here. He must be his computer. I'm looking up the word. What is the word actress in ancient Greek? Now I'm thinking about it. The word actress is so stage player. Oh, I should have known that. The word hypocrite comes from stage player. So hypocrites is the feminine is the word for actress. So it'd be hey hypocrites would be the actress. Isn't that interesting? And that's another thing about the Gospels that people notice. Jesus probably never said that, because if he's speaking Syriac, which is what the Gospel authors all say, they're all like, when they want to quote him and give you his actual quotes, they changed up the Greek into a transliteration where he says like, oh, Talitha, little girl, get up. Or he'll say like, Aloha, lama sabachthani, or that's like, my God, my God. Like there's like 3 or 4 times in the Gospels where that happens. But when it's just quoting him in Greek and you're just kind of giving the generalization of what he meant to say, when he says, beware of the hypocrites, he's actually saying beware of the stage actors. Beware of these actors. They're full of shit. They're acting. That's a Greek term. And the only way he would know that, there are some people who made the argument that he could have known that concept because in Nazareth, which is right next to the city of Sepphoris, you have a theater there. So maybe he knew what a stage play was, and maybe which is I think is very plausible. Actually, there he is. He's back.
Hey,
Yeah, your computer just took a
it's
dump, huh?
it's weird. Yeah, my laptop was still working, but my desktop just the internet disconnected. Anyways,
Well, all right. Next page.
so why don't you go through these phrases that show agreement, just so you can get the
Okay,
practice.
agreement of adjective and noun. Just as the definite article agrees in gender, number, and case with the noun which it modifies,
Just the
but does
Greek.
not necessarily have an identical ending. So too, adjectives agree in gender, number, and case with the nouns which they modify, regardless of any external difference in the form or endings. Each of the following phrases shows agreement. So tois, anthropos, to the men. So what is it? What is it? What's
Dative plural. So this is normal. This is what you're used to.
okay? Tais nasois
And
to
what's
the islands.
yeah, and what's weird about that one?
It's ice and ois.
Yes, it's a mismatch of ice and ois. Now, what kind of declension is ois and nasois? Is it first, second, or third?
That's first declension, right?
No. So we've been looking at we've gotten this introduction to first declension so far because that ends in ace and as, or a and a in the feminine, right? But second declension is what we started with, which was anthropos and nasos, right? So
Oh, that's right. We went backwards.
yeah, so you usually start with second declension because it's the most common and the easiest to learn. Then you move on to the first declension, and then you tackle the third declension, which is a lot harder. That's so it would be nicer if in Greek, in other languages, Russian has the exact same system, by the way, because I started with Russian. First, you start with second declension is the most common, and then first, and then third is the rarest, but it happens in the most common words. So anthropos is second declension. Nasos is second declension feminine, where you get this os ending that becomes ois. And so it's hey nasos is the island. Tais nasois is to the islands, or for the islands. And it's a weird mismatch, right? Tois tais, ois ice. And then the third one?
Agathe suke.
Yeah, and what declension are we in now?
That's still the second one, right?
No, it's first.
But
So
isn't suke from the words we were learning from the beginning?
we were exposed to it in the beginning, but this is the eta endings, eta and alpha. Those are first declension nouns.
Okay.
And so
confusing. I don't
the
know why.
os ending is typical of the second declension. Eta and alpha are first declension.
So that's it. It's just eta second declension. That's it.
Eta or alpha are first declension, and then os is what you're going to find in the second declension.
Okay.
So
Axia
agathe
suke,
psuche,
second
yeah,
declension.
axia psuche, and
Adiko
then
suke, second declension.
yeah, and then here we get this adjective adikos, right? Which remember that also feels awkward, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not adike or adike psuche, it's adikos psuche. So it's a two ending adjective. It has the same ending for masculine and feminine. This is going to come back to bite you later on when you forget it, and you will forget.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're going to think like, well, how do I make the feminine form out of this? And the answer is it doesn't exist. There is no feminine form.
By the way, when you were gone, I was looking up the word for actress, and it's hypocrites, which is, I'm sorry, hypokritos. There is no feminine. It's just, you just say, hey, hypokritos. I'm sorry, hypocrites.
Yeah,
there's only one word. There's only one word. It's not hypokritos. It's hypocrites. Sorry. Does that make sense?
which is which declension?
Second declension.
Yeah, it's first declension.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm confused, but it has the A at the end of it.
Yeah, and A is first declension.
No, okay. Here's what's going on here. My brain is thinking the thing we learned first is first declension. The thing we're learning now is second declension. I'm not even trying to sound like, I'm not trying to give an excuse.
It's annoying.
But I'm literally answering it correctly, but I'm saying first declension for what we did in unit 3 is first declension when it's second declension. I just did annoying, it right there.
Yeah.
So now we're learning second declension. I'm sorry. I just did it again. Did you see what happened?
Your brain gets tied in knots.
And to be fair, said, though? I said now we're learning second declension. We're learning first declension.
Yeah, and I think actually I could be so. I'm just
Well,
looking
I'm
back at
actually not wrong. I'm actually not wrong here. I'm just confused. I'm going in order.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
first declension is the first one they introduce in the book, right? So it's first. It's the one they introduce in the book.
So there you go. So you can see where I'm going with this.
Yeah, they start with first
Throwing
declension.
First declension at you. So I'm thinking to myself, we learned first declension first. Now we're learning second declension.
We did.
But now we're going back to first declension.
So unit 1, section 14 is first declension, and then section 15 is second declension. But the issue is that the most like the words that are like really, really common are second declension.
Yeah.
So it's those ending. It's like the anthropos, right? Like that's that os ending. So that's why it's confusing. And we haven't even gotten to third declension. So in adjective, which we're looking at positions of the adjective, which you were already delving into in unit 3. An adjective which modifies a noun and is preceded by an article agreeing with the noun is in the attributive position. The 3 varieties of attributive position are presented in section 16.3. An adjective in the attributive position, together with the noun which it modifies, forms a phrase, but not a complete sentence. So go ahead and knock these out.
Which one?
Just starting with the good man.
Oh, ho agathos anthropos.
Yep.
Ho anthropos, ho agathos.
Yep.
Anthropos, ho agathos.
Right. And so these all translate to the good man. It's just different ways of expressing it. They're just slightly different styles.
This has already been thrown at us a few times. So.
Yeah. So let's go to the next page. Predicate position. An adjective which agrees with a noun accompanied by the article, but which is itself not preceded by the article, is in the predicate position. So the phrase consisting of noun and article becomes the subject, and the adjective, the predicate adjective of a complete sentence. In order to translate such a sentence into English, the linking verb is or are must be supplied. But in such sentences called nominal sentences are complete as they stand in Greek. This is very important. The article, noun, and adjective standing in the nominative case provide all the necessary information. So give us those. The man is good.
Oh, anthropos agathos.
Yes.
It's just isn't this the same thing we just saw though?
It's no. This is a predicate position.
Wait. Ho agathos anthropos. It's just different. So what's the difference now? Explain to me the difference.
Scroll back up. So, ho agathos anthropos is an incomplete. It's a sentence fragment. It's the good man. ... does something, is something. It's like your audience is hanging on the edge of their seat. Like what comes next, right? Same thing with ho anthropos, ho agathos. Does what? It's incomplete. But when you get to the predicate position, you're already forming complete sentences. Ho anthropos agathos means the man is good. And that is a complete sentence.
So the second definite article makes it an incomplete sentence?
Yes.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me explain this let me try to explain this to my audience.
Yes.
You have 2 nouns here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's the good the good and the man. Mm-hmm. So it's like the good man. So whatever, that's the good man.
Yeah.
But when you don't have a definite article for example, agathos, it becomes an adjective and it's describing the noun. The man is good.
Yeah. Is supplied.
That's what I'm saying. It becomes an adjective.
Yeah.
Describing it.
And there are other languages that do this. So, I cut my teeth learning Russian, which is a very similar language in terms of complexity and inflection.
This happens in John 1.
It happens in John 1. And
why don't we show them that right now? This is actually a perfect time.
We're going to get to it though. It is included in this chapter.
Cool.
Yeah, it's at the end of this chapter. But I just wanted to say that in Russian you would say человек хороший, and that's the same thing. Ho anthropos agathos. It just like when we translate it into English, we need is to be there. You just don't need that in Greek. You can in Greek. You can say.
Isn't it interesting how less information gives us more of a translation?
It's basically just like the man. It's like the man good. That sounds like barbaric to our ears, and in Greek, it's perfectly fine. Now,
or the good man.
Well, no, the good man. This is a full sentence. The man good, but we
No,
in English.
you can, and I'm saying, if I'm trying to understand it from their perspective, it's the good man.
Not really, because the good man is up top. Ho agathos anthropos, which is not a complete sentence.
No, I'm not talking about in English. I'm talking about how they would hear it.
So
it's like the good man. He's a good man.
So the
Without
first thing that they,
without having to say is.
yeah. So the first thing that they hear when they hear ho anthropos, the man, and then drum roll, what comes next? Agathos, and then it's resolved. It's like, okay, now we know what that man is. But when they hear an adjective first, when they hear ho agathos, the good, drum roll, anthropos, man, all of a sudden the Greek listeners like they don't know what comes next. But if you start,
wouldn't ho agathos with a definite article not be an adjective anymore, right?
Agathos,
it's
agathos is an adjective. Agathos o anthropos.
Well, with the definite article, it's the good. It becomes like a subject or
it becomes substantivized.
Yes,
becomes a noun.
Okay, but then you understand what I'm saying. Like I see what the difference is there. I get it.
This is just, but this in general should not feel like it's supposed to be clear and second nature. For us English speakers, this is confusing. If you're a Russian speaker learning Greek, this is actually totally normal. It's just for us, it's weird. Now, there is another way to say this, which is ho anthropos agathos estin, right? Is. You can tack is on to the end of that, and you get a lot of that in the Hellenistic period.
I was going to say that becomes more frequent.
Yes.
The closer you get to modern times.
Yeah, and by the time you arrive in modern Greek, you would say o anthropos ine agathos, and you would actually say is good. Yeah. So in modern Greek, it's obligatory. Modern Greek has basically become like English in the sense that they need to supplant the is and are to make complete sentences. But in ancient Greek, it was just o anthropos agathos, and boom, you're done. That's a full sentence.
Okay.
Agathos o anthropos.
We got a lot more before we even get to. We should probably. We haven't even got to the. We're not even close. We're not even going to finish 4. I'm not even complaining. I'm just saying this is moving pretty slow. It's fine. Yeah. It's fine. I'm not trying to speed up, but we can just.
Yeah. In language learning in general is it's a jog. It's not a marathon. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
When I hear people say I broke the record.
Oh yeah.
You sound horrible. That doesn't make sense. My brain does not compute. You can't do this like that. Okay. Anyways, let's go.
So. O anthropos agathos, the man is good. Agathos o anthropos, the man is good. Same thing. Hoi anthropoi agathoi, the men are good, also works. Carefully distinguish these nominal sentences where the adjective is not preceded by the article from the phrases where the adjective is preceded by the article. A nominal sentence can also consist of 2 nouns, one used as a subject, the other used as a predicate noun. The subject usually has the article, but the predicate noun does not. So, to biblion doron, right?
It's kind of similar to what we just learned.
Yeah, the book is a gift, where doron to biblion, right? The book is a gift. It's the same thing. It's just in the second example, doron is fronted. So you're saying the book is a gift.
Why is biblion is that the nominative case? Biblion, to biblion? Yep. Oh, it is. Yep. That's right. Yeah.
It's second declension neuter.
Yeah. Okay. And this is the accusative. Wait, is
no,
a gift.
It's not the accusative. It looks just to clarify, it looks exactly like the masculine accusative, but it is really just the nominative. And the neuter gender is immune to the accusative case. So that doesn't change in the accusative case.
Got it.
So moving on to 41, this is where it kind of gets interesting. A conditional sentence consists of 2 statements. One makes an assumption. So if A, the other states a conclusion which follows from that assumption. So if A, then B. This exists in English, but it's extremely prominent in Greek, which is why they have special terms for the assumption that is called the protasis, right? And the conclusion is called the apodosis, right? So the prothesis is what you stick in the front, and the apodosis is what you get back, what's given in return. The negative of the negative or the
But
negation.
it's not always may. Sometimes it's this word right here, right?
So the negative, which what they mean is negation. The negation, the way to say not of the protasis is may. Of the apodosis, it's oo. So oo and may both mean not or do not, right? But they are used in different ways depending on, one of them is applied in the protasis and the other is applied in the apodosis. The protasis can be stated either before or after the apodosis. So it's not really a matter of order. If it rains, then they will stay home. So if it rains as the protasis, then they will stay home as the apodosis. I'm sticking then in there. It's not in the text. They will stay home, apodosis, if it rains, the protasis. So in this case, the protasis can be stuck in the end, and the syntax operates in the exact same way, and we have this in English. It's just more pronounced in Greek. 6 types of conditional sentences are presented below. For each, a formula for the protasis, a formula for the apodosis, and a translation formula will be given. In the translation formula, the English verb do will stand for any English verb. No verb in a conditional sentence can be translated until the type of conditional sentence is identified. And this is really hard stuff. These 6 conditional sentences are summarized at the end of this section. So the first one is the future. This is what they do in this particular textbook. It's not a universal thing. The future more vivid conditional sentence that starts with ean for if plus the subjunctive mood of the verb. So the apodosis is then put in the future indicative, the future indicative tense, if you will, or aspect, or mood. Translation.
So either does or will do?
Yeah, so the example they give you is ean angelon pempe or pempse, right?
If the messenger sends...
if a messenger is sent, it's angelon.
I'm just glossing it over. If the messenger, and then you have send.
If he sends the messenger, there's an unspoken he or she in this sentence that is just implied.
And that's because of the accusative?
Because the accusative angelon.
Got it. Okay.
So if the messenger is sent,
the messenger is sent, and then you have obviously they will stop right here.
They will stop the battle, right? So, and to clarify, it doesn't say if the messenger is sent. It's not the passive voice. We just phrased it that way, but that's the idea. So it's then, right?
So this is your options basically for does and will do.
That is determining the aspect of the verb, whether or not it's like going to be a one-time thing, or whether or not it's habitual. So if it's habitual, it's going to be the p. It's going to be pempe. If it's aorist aspect, if it's just a one-time event of being sent, then it's pempse. Because you might be fighting this battle like every weekend. Maybe this is like, your medieval knights thing that you get together with your friends, and then they send a messenger, and then they stop the battle, right? So if it's happening habitually, it's pempe. If it's happening once, it's pempse. And it's just that the sigma gets attached to that p, and it becomes a ps.
Got it. Yeah.
So the protasis of the future more vivid conditional sentence makes an assumption about the future. The apodosis draws a conclusion based on that assumption.
Yeah, you don't have to read that again. We just kind of isn't that what we just explained?
Yeah. In the protasis, the choice between present subjunctive and aorist subjunctive, which I just explained, depends on the aspect in which one it wishes to express.
You don't have to read every single sentence on here. We can just if you explain it in your own way, and then we can just keep going. That's just for the pacing.
Yeah, because normally we don't do this for an audience. Normally it's me and you, and we do read every single sentence. So I'm just
But if you explained it already, then you don't have to.
So the next category is the future less vivid conditional sentence. So that's where you start with the protasis a or e, if you will, plus the optative mood, and then the apodosis is the optative mood plus an. So the translation formula is should do or would do. So read these options.
Pimp boy, pimp psi, pimp sayin.
Yeah, pempsayan. So e angelon, right? Pempoi, like we could start with pempoi. Tein machen pawoyen an, right? If he should send a messenger, they would stop the battle. Now, what does the optative mood say to you? Because right now they're throwing it at you. I don't remember if was the optative mood even addressed at this point in the book?
In what book?
In Hansen and Quinn?
That's right. We're doing it right now. What do you mean? Oh, not
So
yet. This is the
they
first
haven't.
time. Yeah, you're asking if this is the first time? Yeah, this is the first time.
So
We haven't seen it yet. No.
before we had aeon plus subjunctive, and now we have a plus optative, and we saw that the subjunctive was
this is the first time we're seeing this for sure.
Yeah, pempe and then pempoi. So the difference between the subjunctive mood and the optative mood, in generally and in this case, is that the subjunctive is just something that you think will probably happen, is likely to happen, it would happen in a certain circumstance, whereas the optative mood means that you doubt that it's probably not going to happen, right? It's like if pigs fly, we're going to win the battle, right? If pigs would fly, you don't believe pigs will fly. That's an impossibility. That's going to take the optative mood. It's something that you...
So you just throw an on at there, and that's what it does?
No, the optative mood there is being expressed by the oi in pempoi. That
So
oi
what
is an
even doing
optative...
that? What is this even doing then?
What is what even doing?
I'm looking at this sentence right now.
Mm-hmm.
If I just took this off and I read this just like this, wouldn't it be the exact same thing?
No, because in this future less vivid conditional sentence, the on is a marker. You can't translate it into English. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have...
That's so confusing, dude.
I know.
Holy
I know.
shit.
It doesn't actually...
No, but hear me out though. If I took this is what I just said, and I just want to make sure I'm correct. If I literally deleted this from the page, like if I had a way that I could just, do I have a marker I can put on here real quick? No, I don't.
Just like I can imagine it.
Hold on, let's just pretend the on is gone. I'm gonna highlight it. And if I read this, a angelon, pempoi tain maken payoen, pawain. Okay, I literally did I not just read if he should send a messenger, they would stop the battle. That's the same sentence.
Yeah, but it's not grammatically correct.
But what if I just wrote that though? What if I wrote that? Wouldn't you still be able to read it that way?
Just like if I said in English, if he should send a messenger, they will stop the battle. Does that sound normal to you?
They will stop the battle?
Yeah, that's weird, right? Because
Wait,
that would be the...
It didn't sound that weird.
If he should send a messenger, they will stop the battle.
This doesn't sound that weird.
How about, I wish that he will go to school?
I wish that he will go to school.
Yeah.
I mean, you normally would say would, but this
Would.
doesn't sound that weird though.
It's okay. So it would sound weird to a Greek person, and I wish he will go to school sounds weird. It's not something a native
No, it
speaker
doesn't
of
sound
English
normal.
would...
You're right, but it's not.
Yeah.
I understand what they're saying.
So this is the way that our moods work in English. We say like, I wish I had $1 million. Now let me say this. I wish I have $1 million. Have.
Hey, hold on a second though. I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off. I have to. This doesn't answer. I'm still confused here. The way I read that, a angelon, pempoi tain maken, pawoin. Did I not just? Does that not translate exactly to if he should send a messenger, they would stop the battle?
No, because for the Greek,
they will stop a battle. Okay, is that what I just did? I literally just they will stop. They will stop. Is that what this is?
It's really hard to find an exact analogy because we just don't have these mechanics in English. But for a the Greek listener, when they hear you start that sentence and you say "e angelon pempoi," immediately they're starting to file this away in their mind, and
it's like a mende clause.
Yeah, it's like if you started that mende clause and you didn't have the day in the second part, the Greek person would expect it to be there, and then when you don't deliver it, it just sounds like, oh, this dude isn't very educated.
Got it. We got it.
So what they...
one of those things you got to know. Okay.
So what they want to hear at the end is pawoyen an. and they want to hear that on there. And if they don't hear it, they just assume you're a barbarian who just started learning Greek, right?
Yeah.
So the protasis of a future less vivid conditional sentence, like that of a future more vivid conditional sentence, which means if you strongly doubt that the outcome is going to take place versus if you just think it's likely versus thinking it's unlikely. That's what that means. The more vivid, less vivid, makes an assumption about the future, but the assumption is viewed as less likely to come true. The apodosis draws a conclusion based on this less likely assumption. So if I had $1 bazillion, I would buy a mansion, right? Like that's not going to happen, right? So I doubt it. In both the protasis and the apodosis, the if-then, the choice between present optative and aorist optative depends on the aspect which one wishes to express. So is it happening once or is it happening routinely? The particle on is necessary to complete the meaning of the apodosis, but it is not separately translated. And this is addressing your
sentence. If I would have
sentence.
shut up, they would have answered my question right here.
But does it really answer your question, right?
Yeah,
it's like it's still confusing.
It's still confusing, but at least they're trying to say it's just a necessary.
Yeah, but its position is flexible. It cannot begin a clause or a sentence, and the apodosis of the sentence above could be written as tein machen an pawoyen, as opposed to tein machen pawoyen an.
Told you.
You told me what?
There's no difference in meaning, it says.
Well, there's no difference in meaning on where it is placed, but it has to be in there. It has to be.
The introductory particles aeon and I both mean. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Aeon. Yeah. Okay, I got it.
So it's still obligatory. Now, by the way, just as a disclaimer, this is Attic Greek. We're talking about like high Attic style with the optative mood. You're not going to find this in a lot of Hellenistic literature. Oh. This kind of drops out of the language eventually.
This isn't in the New Testament.
Yeah, it's you might get like a little bit in Hebrews, Luke, like some of the authors that are really well educated and they're flexing.
Luke's the Atticizer, right?
Luke and Hebrews is considered the best style, but I don't even remember off the top of my head if they have these kinds of this kind of conditional syntax in it.
Yeah.
But it's usually when you see like if Paul is giving a speech on the Areopagus in Athens and Luke is drawing from the style of Thucydides, that's when you see this stuff start to come out.
Okay.
And if you're reading classical literature, that's what you're going to find. So the present general conditional sentence, the protasis is aeon plus the subjunctive mood. The apodosis is the present indicative, just regular old verb. The translation formula is does. So aeon angelon, why don't you read this?
Aeon angelon pempe tein maken pawosin.
Right? If he sends the messenger, they stop the battle. This is just general conditional. The protasis of the general conditional sentence makes an assumption in the present time. So if he's being sent right now, we're fighting, we're waiting for this messenger to come. The apodosis states a conclusion which follows as a general rule. So the adverbs ever and always in the second translation above emphasize this. So we're sticking that in English when in Greek it's just applied. The ever, if he ever sends a messenger, then he always stops the battle, usually, right? It's Greek already encodes that. The protasis of the present general conditional sentence is the same as the protasis of the future more vivid conditional sentence, but its meaning is substantially different. One cannot translate the verbs in either part of the conditional sentence without first identifying both the protasis and the apodosis. If you only have one piece, you don't really know what's going on. And in the protasis, the choice between present subjunctive and aorist subjunctive depends on the aspect which one wishes to express.
Okay.
So those are the first three categories. The fourth category is present general conditional sentence. So the protasis is a plus optative. The apodosis is the imperative indicative mood. The imperfect indicative mood. The translation formula is did. So
so this is kind of what I was getting at. If you don't throw the on in the end, you get this formula.
Yeah, if you don't throw the on at the end, you're just not falling into the pattern of the
it just sticks with did. Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually, that makes a lot of sense actually.
But it's also because there's an imperfect indicative epawon at the end. So it fits a different pattern. You don't need the on here. The on here is not, it would be out of place.
Got it. Okay,
if you stuck it in, it would sound weird. It would be e angelon pempoi Tain, machin, epawon. Done. And that is the optative mood in the protosis.
That makes sense.
So you want to go 5. Present counterfactual conditional sentence. A plus imperfect indicative. The imperfect indicative plus on. So protosis, hypothesis. Translation formula, were doing or would be doing. So a angelon epempen.
I'll do it. Tain, machin, ebauen on.
Ebauen on, right.
You just want to see the differences here. So A plus imperfect indicative. So it's still A plus on. What's the difference here now? What exactly is the difference here?
So this is just because it's fitting this number 5 category of present counterfactual conditional sentence, where in this formula you need the on in the apodosis, the apodoses. So the first part of
what's the difference between this and what was it, 3? When it's also A plus on. Oh, I'm sorry, 2.
You're talking about what's the difference between this and...
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to figure out.
So
you still have A and you still have on. So why is this telling us why is this giving us different information?
Because it's taking place in the past, and the other one is taking place in the future.
Oh, is it because of the verb?
It's because of the way that the
it's
the way that the conditional syntax is structured, with the A plus optative and the optative plus on in the apodosis. In category 2, you're saying if something should happen, then there would be a result if that happened in the future. So this is a future hypothetical. But here we're dealing with a past hypothetical. So we're saying
present then? That's confusing.
Oh, sorry. I was looking for 4 is the past hypothetical where you don't need the on. But in the present present conditional hypothetical, you do need the on with the imperfect indicative. So if he were sending the messenger, they would be stopping the battle right now.
This is present.
Yeah, we would be stopping at this very moment if he were in the process of sending the messenger, hypothetically.
Okay, that makes sense.
And those are using the imperfect.
I would go 6.
And then 6 is past counterfactual conditional sentence. This is A plus aorist in the indicative in the protosis, aorist indicative plus on in the apodosis. The translation formula had done, would have done. So here we have read the Greek.
E angelon epipsen tain makin epausan on.
Epausan on, right?
On, yeah.
So if he had sent the messenger, and he didn't, but if he had, they would have stopped the battle, but they didn't. So this is past counterfactual. It means that the situation we're describing is a situation that did not happen, but we can speculate on what would have happened. That's what's going on here.
And the difference here is they all have A and on here. Whether we just saw an example of present, we saw an example of past. Mm-hmm. The difference would be the verb tells us is in the past.
The difference is the aorist aspect.
Right here.
And you can see that in those epsilon augments.
Yes, yeah, right here. Okay, got it.
And the sigmas. Yeah, that's the easier one. So here's the summary of conditional sentences that you can see. They have this table. Now, what I would like you to do is shift to your Google Doc. And if you can't,
so is this actually drills?
No, but I want to show something on the Google Doc.
Okay.
And if you could show it, because I was racking my brain of like how to explain this, and I think that there's a table that I created like 10 years ago that I think could finally benefit somebody other than myself.
See how I set us up for this?
Yes.
I made it so like when we do the drills, I have it full screen.
So go to the tab in the bottom left that says conditional syntax.
Got it.
So you see here, I've put all of these out so you can hopefully maybe make it full screen for a while so people can just focus on this. It's a little, you're cutting off the final.
What do you mean full screen? This is full screen. You talking about this right here?
Can you make this full?
I can make this bigger. Yeah. Boom.
Can you make us smaller and like? I just want to make sure that everybody can see this whole table.
This is as big as it can be anyway.
Shoot.
Well, even if we're smaller, it's only going to show. I can. Yeah, it's fine. You can see it.
I mean,
You're
maybe can you?
It's fine like that. That's fine.
What if you share my screen?
It'll just be smaller. It'll be the same size. It'll be in the same exact spot.
I have it in Studio because I can make it. Because if you hit Command minus, you can make that smaller.
See, I told you.
Yeah, no, this is the whole thing. So
yeah, but you didn't you made it smaller.
I know, but
bigger.
you see this table on the right.
Yeah.
Those mini examples. That's what you were cutting it off. That's why.
Well, because I zoomed in too much. That's all.
So here you can see that this is color coded. So you can see that the if will in the future more vivid has the subjunctive plus the future indicative. Subjunctive is blue, future indicative is purple, right? Yeah. If will. So that's the ean pempse paususin, right?
Yeah.
Versus the present general, which is ean, right? Plus subjunctive, present indicative. You can see here's where on comes in. So on is here, here, and here. So on happens in future less vivid, which is potential, versus habitual without on, right? Then,
I can flip to this if I needed to and during the drills, right? Would that be cheating or no?
No, this is the cheat sheet you want to use. Yeah. So this is a cheat sheet that you want to use. I have examples here of like using other Greek examples down lower. So this is like giving you more detail than is in the book because the Cambridge Grammar of Classical Greek does a very, very good job at explaining this. A better job, in my opinion, than Hansen and Quinn. Also, Smith's Greek grammar has a unique explanation of conditional syntax. So this is just a nice visual to sort of let you start to compartmentalize how the conditional syntax is working. So if this, then that. If this were, then this would be. That's what we're dealing with. So I think we're close to getting to.
No, but when we're doing the drills, though, obviously I don't have all this memorized, so it would be fine for me to flip to this to check, right?
Yes.
I'm just wondering if that's cheating or not. I'm just making sure about.
I don't consider it cheating unless you're like looking at a translation. If you look at a translation, that's cheating.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I'm going to be using this. This is actually really good. I'm going to actually be flipping to this pretty often, and hopefully, as I'm doing it, I'm memorizing it. You know what I mean?
All right. So the next sections we have talking about mixed conditional sentences. I don't know if you want to. Yeah, you want to go back to the book.
Yeah. Back to the book.
So there's a further note on conditional sentences, and that's that basically the categories that we've reviewed, and you scroll down to the next page, the categories we reviewed are not all of them. There are mixed conditional sentences and that they're not being introduced yet, so they're not throwing the kitchen sink at you just yet. And then regarding elision, this is an orthographic convention where basically if a word ends in a vowel like pempete, and the next word starts with a vowel, angelus, those two vowels at the end of the first word and the beginning of the next word are in competition with each other. And in so we have pempete, angelus, e-a. We have one word ending in e, the next word begins in a. Greeks don't like that boundary of
I always wonder when I'm reading like low when I see this. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's because it's flowing into this.
Yeah, so the unelided version would be
Pempetangelos.
Yeah, pempetangelos. Or sorry, pempetangelus.
Yeah.
Whereas move on to the next. Give us the next example.
Right here.
Yep.
Pimsa angelos. Angelos.
Yep. Epimsa angelus. Yeah, and there you literally have a plus a. So one of them is going to cancel the other one out.
Yeah, these two. I got it. Okay, that's easy. Keep going.
Yep.
Vocabulary. This is before the drills, right?
And here I don't know. Do you want to read the vocabulary?
I mean, this is something we've seen this before, right?
I think because you're going to get to it in the exercises. If I were you, I would jump into the exercises.
Okay. So
If anything, I would maybe look at the vocabulary notes, but I think you honestly could just.
I'm familiar with almost all these words already. So
Let's not bore everyone with vocabulary.
yeah. Okay. Let's go to the drills then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the drill. Oh, actually, can you just read the chat for a couple? I gotta take a leave real quick before I start. So just talk to the chat. I'll be right back.
Are there super chats?
Just read the chat.
Hey guys, so I guess I should also take this opportunity to mention that I do a weekly Greek class. So I have a Greek class every Saturday, and in my Greek class, I usually teach Greek diachronically. So I might delve a little bit into Homer. I think Athena's is a much better textbook than Hansen and Quinn. Definitely it's worth drawing from the grammar translate method when it comes to explaining things about grammar, but that's not really how foreign language acquisition is done nowadays. Hansen and Quinn was written, before I was born. And in my lifetime, there have been huge advancements in second language acquisition that have been now applied to ancient languages. So that's really what's behind the methodology of Athena's and there's tons of reading material in this. That's what really makes this book shine. So if anybody wants to study Greek, go to crossbible.com, go to the contact page and reach out to me, and I'll do a free session with you to figure out if it's a good fit for you to join my Greek class. So I can, if you like the way I teach, this is how I teach. So,
all right. So, let's do the drills, right?
Yeah. So for each of the words below, supply the proper form of the article or o for the vocative case, translate it, change the plurals to singulars and singulars to plurals. So you got to flip
we're just starting off super easy. This has nothing to do with aeon or a. We're not even, everything that they just threw at us, they're basically going, all right, take a step back. We're doing definite articles. That's it.
Yeah. So, well, you have to do you have to do three things. So you have to, so supply the proper form of the article. Right? So
dative.
give it, so go to the next line and type us out the definite article for that.
Okay. Dative would be Tice.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it. I'm a monotonic guy.
Yeah. So. And that's another thing. So, I usually teach polytonic typing, but it is tedious to type polytonic with circumflex accents and breathing marks.
I'm not doing all that shit.
So Neil and I did it for the first unit, and then
I understand it now. I know it. I could do it. Like I know how to do it. I can do a circumflex accent. Watch this. Ready? It is. Wait, no, it's not. Maybe I forgot. Hold on. Maybe it's been a while. Hold on. Let me try. There we go.
There we go. Okay, so everybody can see Neil.
I could do it if I wanted to.
Yeah, and just so everybody's aware, this is the Byzantine convention of polytonic script that was invented in the Byzantine. Well, it was invented in the Hellenistic period, but really standardized in the Byzantine period, and was abolished in Greece in the 1980s. And Greece shifted to what's called the monotonic system, and that's the system that I use with Neil just to make things a little bit easier to, so I don't have to sit there and wait for him.
Do it just to do it, just for fun, and then we can. Sure. And then if I get tired of it, we can switch back.
Sure. So
this is dative, so it's going to get this subscript, the iota subscript.
No, it's not.
No,
it's a full-blown iota on the line. So all you're doing is taking that word thalatais and you're typing it with the definite article right now. That's all you're doing. So you're not changing the word yet.
Well, doesn't it say change plurals to singulars?
But in the second step, so the first step is just give us the definite article Tice. So write it the way you see it, with the dative in the plural.
Well, that's redundant. I'm not going to write this again, right? I'll just
whatever you want. But you have the stress on the first alpha. It needs to move to the second one.
This. So why don't I do this? Why don't I just go like this?
Copy and paste it if you want.
Okay, so you want to do? We're going to type out twice. All right, let's do this. What isn't that kind of redundant though? Like to type it out twice.
Well, ideally, on the second line, you would write Tice, Thalatais, and you'd move on. Then you would translate it.
Okay, we can do that. I don't want to take too much time.
So, second line, what does Tice, Thalatais mean?
It's the dative. It's 2 for the C.
2 for the C's.
Yeah.
The C's plural, right? So 2 for the C's. You could write that if you want. Then the next line.
I'm just going to say the answer, and that's who cares, right?
Okay, done. Now, next line. 2 for the C in the singular.
2 for. So I'm switching it to
Singular dative.
So 2 for. So it would be te, and this one does get isn't it get a subscript?
And this is where you should probably switch to monotonic and not write anything. But yeah, it should get it should get an iota subscript.
Let me just see if I can remember how to do that.
And just so everybody's aware, what Neil is doing is he's shifting to a Greek keyboard and he's hitting the keystrokes he needs to put a circumflex accent over the eta and an iota subscript under the eta, and that takes 3 different keystrokes. So, and you have to memorize those keystrokes, which is why Greece abolished the polytonic system.
There's a subscript there, but this is not the right one, right?
Yeah. So what you're looking for is
damn. How did I forget
this? That's what you're trying to get.
Yeah, I got this one going. All right, wait. What's the? Do you remember what the key was?
And do me a favor. Can you do Control plus and make the letters bigger? You could make that a lot bigger, actually. I think it's like for me, it's Command plus. I think on a yeah. There you go. Everybody can see it really well.
Okay, so we're just gonna do monotonic then. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's gonna take too long for me to try to remember.
So just do that, Tay.
Just remind me what is the key for?
So if you want to just drop an iota subscript, you're gonna hit Shift left bracket, and it's gonna go like that.
There we go.
Just do that.
I remember that.
But ideally, okay. But just so you know, if you didn't, if you want to, for the audience that really wants to do it, you would hit the left bracket. Then you would hit Shift and hit the left bracket again, and then you would hit the H key, and that would give you your circumflex and your iota subscript. But it is a bit of a pain. Yeah. Tay. Now, the stress is wrong. The acute accent needs to move forward because you have. Yeah, te thalate.
Oh. Wait, why am I? Okay. Like that?
Yeah. So if you were doing this in the nominative case, it would be he thalata, right? Or in Ionic, it would be thalassa, and that's because this is a short alpha. It at the end. It's not a long alpha. All right. Okay. So
let's keep on.
First step for thalatan is the definite article. So what definite article are you going to put?
So this is accusative. So tain.
Tain. Yeah.
Tain, it would be tain thalatane, and I can just
not tain not tain thalatane, tain thalatan, right? Yeah. Now if we were doing full blown polytonic, this would look like that, and you would have a grave accent over the eta, but we decided not to do that. So the next line would be the translation.
Okay, I got to switch back to.
Or you could just tell me, and I can switch back pretty quick. C. Yeah, the C. With the C, which is basically the C direct object. Yeah. It could be to the C. It could be at the C. You're just looking at the C.
Okay. And now we're changing it to
plural.
Now we're changing it to plural.
Yep.
So, and it's got to be in the date. It's still got to be accusative, right?
Yep.
So, Tice.
Right? No.
Wait, Toice?
Nope.
I'm sorry. I'm doing dative. Accusative would be toss.
Yes. You love the dative, I know.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm just doing. And it gets like that.
Technically, it would be a grave accent. In monotonic, you would just not put anything on it because it's a monosyllabic word. Let's
keep doing that. I'm not going to sit here all day and do.
Yeah.
We already showed it off. We're good. But I'm doing monotonic because I'm trying to stick with the attic.
Yeah,
simplified, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the grave accent is with the right bracket.
Accents and shit. So neither should I.
It's true. Yeah. What if you use the polytonic script, you're using Byzantine convention.
Yeah.
Tas. So right, tas.
So tas is thalatas. Thalatas.
Thalatas. There you go.
Yeah.
So that short alpha becomes a long alpha in the os ending in the accusative plural.
There we
Right. Perfect. All right.
Okay.
Now we're moving on to.
go. Gefuras. So,
And what does that mean?
so Gefuras isn't it like the street?
No, it is a bridge.
The bridge. Okay.
So what case could that be in? There's two possibilities.
That is TOS, which is what am I talking about? Accusative feminine.
Yeah. So to.
Wait, you saying it can be two?
Yeah. So it could be TOS. So
can we taste genitive?
well, what you have there is correct. So just write what your first instinct was correct.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
And it's the bridge is plural, right?
Yeah. Or like it could be the bridge's direct object, or it could be it could be of the bridges or of the bridge. Sorry. Because basically this could be, it could be hey gefura converted into taste
I was going to say also genitive. I was just going to say
right?
that.
Or it
Did I
could
say
be
that right?
hi gefurai. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said or taste genitive. That's what I said.
Yeah. So basically, we don't know. The reason there's a number 2 in the book is because we don't know if it's singular genitive or if it's plural accusative.
Okay.
So it makes the answer convoluted because you have to answer it in 2 different ways. And I don't know if you want to mess with that, but it would be basically either tas gefuras, or it would be tes gefuras.
Okay.
So it could be tes or tas.
And
Because
now we
just-
have to put it. Now we have to put it into a singular. So it's
Yeah, like either singular or plural, depending
so
on like.
if we're starting off with toss, it's going to have to go to tain, staying in the accusative, right? Right.
If we're gonna yes. So tain
Tain,
gefuran
gefuran.
with the stress over the epsilon.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew that. You don't have to tell me. I'm just kidding. Gefuran. Okay, te gefuran.
Yep.
And then the other one, if I put a slash here, would have to be tone. Obviously, that's the only genitive plural. Whoops. Tone. Tone. Gefuron.
Yep.
Okay. Gef. Whoops. Gefu. And then this is the like that.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Which would be circumflex if we were doing polytonic, but that's acceptable in monotonic.
That's what we're doing. All right, thalata,
Yep.
and now there's another 2 here. So this is because it's a second declension noun, right?
No.
I'm sorry, first declension noun. I'm thinking in terms.
You
of
were
what we
thinking
learned.
it correctly. You just said
I
the
know.
wrong word.
It's
Yeah.
the one we just learned.
Yeah.
Second
Yeah,
declension. Yeah. First declension. I mean.
Yeah.
So I just did it again, right back to back. First declension noun. So it would be. So we have to get the. Is this genitive?
No, it's not.
Yeah. It's not genitive.
No.
Okay. Thalata would be nominative. What am I talking about? Right? Hey?
Yes. Yeah.
No.
Hey.
I'm tricking myself here. Okay.
I know.
Thalata.
Hey, thalata. And then the other option would be what?
And the other option would be Thalata would be dative?
No.
Oh, or wait, no, I'm sorry, accusative.
No, because the accusative would get a new ending, right? It would be thalatan.
So thalata is nominative.
Or
Nominative. I don't know. What is it? What else could it be?
if you're talking to the sea and you say, hey,
vocative.
yeah, and you say,
Duh,
hey,
I'm,
you know, yeah.
I'm like literally only doing
thalata.
4. I'm thinking of 4. Okay. Oh, ho. So ho.
Not
and then-
ho, not ho. Oh. So it's a smooth breathing. It's not
Oh,
ho.
that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
but it's still okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we
Oh,
go.
thalata. So this could be the
sea or hey
sea or yo sea. What's up?
Yeah. Whoops. So the sea. OC. All right, I guess. All right. And now we have to change it to the plural.
Yep.
Which would be high.
Mm-hmm.
And you should know this by Unit 4. If you've done Unit 15, you don't know that. Sorry. All right. And it would be thalatai.
Yep.
Thalatai, right?
Boom. Yes, exactly.
So,
You're much more disciplined with your emphasis this time around
I'm getting there.
because you know that I'm like a stickler.
Yeah, you are. All right. and then the vocative, which would be also O,
Yeah,
right?
just looks the same. And just so everybody's aware, the vocative case just means that this is the form you would use if you were talking to the sea. So you're not going to find this very much in text, but it's
I think it happens in the Life of Caligula.
Oh, really?
It's either Poseidon. It might be the Poseidon, but it says he's talking to the sea. But I think he thinks he's talking to Poseidon.
Now you have a spelling mistake in that line,
Really?
and I want you to just quickly ascertain what it is, or I'll tell you.
This one?
No.
Which one?
Now it's because we're not using geminated consonants, but in fact, in Cyprus today they geminate their consonants. So
okay. Hold on. Don't tell me.
Yes, there we go.
Got it. I figured it. As soon as you said that, I knew what it was.
And what's the ionic form of that word?
Thalata?
Well,
thalata with S.
Yeah, because thalata is the attic form, right?
Yeah. Got it.
All right, so move.
The one you see in the New Testament is with thalasa.
Yes, that's the ionic form. Because the ionic form became the common pattern in the Hellenistic Koine dialect, the common dialect.
Yeah. So we have to write. We don't have to write that down, right?
No. Just okay. Fun fact. But we're learning Attic Greek here. So polites.
So polites would get. Let me just copy that because we're about to write it again. And polites would get. It's still nominative, right?
Yep.
Okay. Polites is nominative, and it was only one here.
It's just one, yeah. No slash.
And that's the city or the citizens, right?
Yeah, the citizen.
The people, or
no, the citizen. The singular citizen, yeah.
Why am I Control Shift? There we go. Citizen.
Yeah. It has it. Yeah, exactly. And then now we got to make this
into plural. Would have to be
nominative plural.
Would be hoi. Oops. Hoi.
Mm-hmm.
This is first declension, right?
Yes.
So it's gonna. I'm gonna. It's not politoi. I want it to be politoi, but it's not.
Yes, right? You want it to be second declension.
Let me just write that out. This is what I was going to write, but I know around Unit 4, it's going to be polites.
No.
That's the nominative. Plural will be politai.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And the reason you want it to be politoi is because you have the definite article hoi, and that looks like second declension. Yeah.
My brain is go with the second declension. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's first declension. Got it.
Yeah. And it's persistent accent. The accent just sticks there on the antepenultimate syllable, the second to last syllable.
And that's it for that one, right?
Yep. And now we got another form of the same word.
And what the hell is this one? But this is also nominative, but it's not the same.
It's not nominative.
Oh, it's vocative.
Yeah.
That's
This is where you're saying. That's where you're saying, "Yo, citizen, hey."
Because if it was nominative, it gets the sigma. But when it's okay, got it.
And just so we're aware, I think you messed this up in the last time. O, or you were saying ho before. This omega, that is not a definite article. It's just it's what you say when you're about to like call somebody by name. So you know, just so everybody's aware, it's not an article.
Yeah. So now we got to change. Now we write. We can move down a little bit and just so I can still see the top part. So now we write host citizen. I'm gonna put like an exclamation point on there.
Yeah. Oh, citizen.
I should probably
which is archaic. You know, in modern English we might say yo citizen.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same thing. And in modern Greek they say re or vre.
It is interesting how we have the yo is an actual like vocative.
Yeah, it's a word. Yeah, it's a vocative marker.
So citizen. Now we're gonna change it to plural.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be hi politi. Well,
it'll still be O. You still say O, even in the plural. Yeah, O.
Wait,
you're just gonna be yo citizens.
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of nominative. We're still in. Okay, it's still the same. I got you.
Vocative plural.
I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it'd be politi.
Yeah, it just looks the same as the nominative.
Yeah.
Yep.
There
we go.
All right, neon would get neon gets the tone.
Yep.
Tone neon. I'm pretty much like catching on to these ones now. This is the first declension nouns.
Maybe you gotta give us that's right. The citizen.
And then we gotta flip it. My bad.
Yep, flip it to plural.
What just happened?
You just overrode what I wrote, but that's fine.
The citizen. Wait, it's the young man. Right?
Yeah.
Man?
And
okay.
It's funny because Neil and I have a Google Doc that we've been collaborating on for the past year that's like 50 pages long. And it's just like people are kind of getting a glimpse into our process. Like this is what we do. We like get into a Google Doc and we like write over each other. Yeah. And it's a really
we've been doing for 2 years now or something like that. All right. So now I got to flip it to plural.
Yep.
Which would be so tone. So that's accusative. Right.
The article, you should get the article right away. Like, don't hesitate on the article. Just drop the plural, accusative, masculine quickly.
Tous.
Okay. So now the fun starts. You know it's going to be neani. You can type neani in advance. Yeah. So now it's just a question of what is the ending. And spoiler alert, it's not neanius because it's not second declension.
Yeah. But it's just it's us because it's not.
It's us.
It's either this, but in this case, it's
us. It's the plural
because of this. Because of this.
Yeah, you got that faster than I thought you would. Good.
Yeah, and you just gotta follow what vowel you have before.
It's I don't know if that's gonna hold up, but it's just the first declension.
Find an example.
First declension plural accusative that applies.
Oh, right here. Polites. Oh no, but this one didn't change to politag.
Because
that's
what I'm saying.
Dative. Okay,
it's not dative, accusative.
I think it'll be more of like an instinct thing. I don't know.
Yeah, but basically, accusative plural is always us, even if feminine. Masculine and the first declension, the accusative plural is us. And once you memorize that pattern in context, it's really not about drilling forms. It's about seeing it and encountering it out in the wild when you're reading Greek texts over and over again. That's the secret. Just reading a whole lot and encountering the language. So
this is obviously two.
There you go.
Probably two, and then that would be genitive of the citizen.
Yep.
Citizen, right? And then if we switch it to also plural, it'd be tone.
Mm-hmm.
and it's I hate first declension, man. It's like you want it to be
Okay.
tone polytone, and it's not. And I keep repeating
Why isn't
that
it? Why not?
because it's first declension.
So
Just got the weird
write it. Write what you just said. Write what you just said.
polytone.
Yeah. Write it.
Wait, it is polytone, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, so
The
I'm
only
tricking myself out of
Yeah.
the correct answer. Yeah.
genitive plural is going to be own across the board in like all
everything.
declensions. It's super regular.
Oh, easy to remember that. Okay.
But in the first declension, the thing to take note of is the fact that stress mark moved over to the end. And normally that would be a circumflex accent in polytonic script. In monotonic, it's an acute accent. But notice the stress, it went from polites to polytone.
Okay.
So that own really, in the first declension, that own takes the emphasis onto it.
Okay. So there's only one of those. Okay. So now we have poite or poite.
Yeah, poiete.
Poet.
Mm-hmm.
Poet.
But, okay, so give us the definite article.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is dative, obviously, because it's got
Yeah.
whenever you see a Yoda subscript, guys, always dative. Always. So
And on the
definite
ending,
article, So definite article would be toy.
Yeah, you would have an iota
You know,
subscript. in there.
just to do it, I could do
Remember, left bracket. There you go.
toy and then boom. I think just for these I'll do them just because it's just you want it you want to have that for some reason. I
You
don't know.
can, but you're also omitting the circumflex accent. So it's like you're kind of halfway in between polytonic and
I have that there?
monotonic.
How do
So
you do that again?
So
Shift.
this is the way you do it on a Mac. You do the left bracket, then you do shift left bracket, then you do the V, which is the omega.
Wait.
So like left bracket, shift left bracket, omega.
Wait. Left bracket, shift left bracket. No, that doesn't work for me.
It may be different on it may be different on a PC.
Yeah.
The PC keystrokes are
We'll
different.
we'll just do this for now and we'll figure that out later. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's already getting kind of late. Let's do so this would be 2 or 4.
Mhm.
The poet. And then now we got to flip it to plural,
Yeah.
and we get genitive dative, which is Tice. Right?
Only if the poet is a woman.
Oh,
Yeah.
toys. Yeah,
Toys.
toys.
Mhm.
But the reason why my brain went there is because it's got the A to there. So
Yeah, and you're gonna go there in the when you actually decline the noun, you're gonna do it.
yeah, so it's poetice.
Yeah, poietais. So you're still gonna. So it's toys
You can see
poietais.
why my brain wants to do tice, right?
My brain is thoroughly scrambled from doing Greek for 11 years. It's exactly like this. It's like patting your head and rubbing your belly, and then
I know it is,
and then
it's
flipping.
it's so weird. Yeah, it is. It's
That's
tricky.
that's what it's like.
So is that how you spell it? Poietas. Nice.
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
Yep.
And then we have nia. Is this the same word again? No, neon. Okay. So we have neais,
Yep.
which is also dative. And so we just
And this is
Copy
going to be
that.
the same kind of mismatch because this is like it's ice, which you feel
Toys.
should. Yeah, there you go, toys.
which would be 2 for the just put male, right?
The little boys.
Young man. I mean, it doesn't. I want to put male here because it's like it doesn't have the.
It's young men.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is what was normative in the classical period for a young man. In the Hellenistic period, it was neaniskoi.
Right.
So
You're right.
this
You're
is
right.
just-
Yeah. If you're reading Herodotus, He likes to use this word. He uses both, but he likes to use this word more.
Yeah, but in the Hellenistic period, you really don't get neanias. As far as I'm aware, it's used once in the New Testament, and that is in the Gospel of Luke, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it's in Acts, but it's Luke Acts.
Which is interesting because he's the Atticizing one out of the four.
Yes, so he's using this Attic word, whereas in his period, it would have been more common for him to just use the word neaniskos to refer to a young man. That's the later version.
So dative. So now we're going to go back from plural to singular.
Exactly.
So it would be two. Two, right?
No, not two.
Toe?
No.
Toe?
Yeah, toe. And you could do the toy thing. Personally, I don't pronounce those iota subscripts. If you look at the pronunciation guide in the front of the book, the recommendation of the authors, which is very standard convention, is to not pronounce iota subscripts.
Yeah. They mentioned that it does make that sound though, right?
They don't really put it that way. They just say that like conventionally you just don't pronounce it.
Yeah. But I think in Attic times that's the if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you're right. In the Attic period, the iota subscript was still pronounced. But in very early in the Hellenistic period, it was just an orthographic convention, and nobody pronounced it. Very, very early.
Right. Correct. Right. I'm just taking this.
Well, you need to get. Well, I guess you're not. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because you would have an iota subscript, but you don't. So there. But yeah, it's alpha. It's alpha. Yeah. There. Perfect. There you go.
Boom.
And like just to make it prettier, I'll do.
Yeah, you can fix them for me. All right, look, I can figure out how to do that later. All right, let's finish these off, and then do you want to translate one before we? I mean, I know Game of Thrones is on now, but
all right. You want to go to two?
No, we can do another half hour. You want to do another half hour?
I'm good on time.
All right, let's do another half hour.
Yeah,
and I can watch it. I don't have to watch it on time. Who gives a fuck, right? Oh my god, it's on. It's like who cares? Let's do Greek. So now we have polytai, and this gives us a 2. So we have a 2 here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 2 possibilities. Well, this is plural, so we're going back to no. First, I just gotta give you the
definite article.
Yeah. So hoi.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Hoi.
Okay. Whenever you pause on answering, I think I'm wrong. And then the other one would have to be what's the other one? It's vocative. No?
Yeah. Just if it's the nominative singular or nominative plural, first declension vocatives usually look for the same with a few exceptions. Yeah.
So we have it's just the citizen subject, right?
Yep, the citizens.
And then, citizens.
Yep.
Citizens. Okay. And then we got to flip it now, right?
Yep.
So we're flipping it from the nominative plural to the singular nominative plural. So it's ho. Ho.
Sorry, not singular nominative plural, just singular nominative, ho. Right.
Did I say singular nominative plural?
You did.
So it's ho.
Yep.
And not polita, polites.
Polites. All right. Polites.
Polites. I'm starting to get in the hang of this first declension thing.
Yeah.
And then same thing as ho or o. Sorry. O, and then it's just the same word again, right?
Well, it's the same word in the vocative form. So the vocative looks a little different.
Like that?
That would be the case if it were the second declension. So you're not wrong in most case scenarios, but you're wrong about the first declension.
Hold on, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so now we're on niu, which would be 2.
Yep.
Genitive. and it'd be of the young man. Of the young man. And then the flip would be genitive plural. So always, always, always. Always. Whenever you get genitive plural, always that. Is that right? Across
Yes,
the board.
that is right.
Always.
You're right. Yes, yes, yes.
I like that. It's very easy to remember that. And it's going to get the matching ni on. Like that?
Yeah. And that stress is moving forward in the first declension.
Oh, yeah. I always remember that for the genitive.
Good. Neon. That wouldn't be the case in the second declension, but that happens in the first declension.
Yeah.
And the third.
Okay. So now we got poet again, and this time it's it's not genitive. It's accusative. Accusative plural.
Yep.
So it would get tus. Right?
Tus. Perfect.
Tus poetas.
Yep. You got that
Which
final
would be
sigma.
The poets.
Right.
Should I write object?
Yeah, it could be you're looking at the poets, you're throwing something at the poets, you're listening or you're appreciating the poets. Listening would be different.
Yeah. Okay, now we flip it to singular.
Yep.
And singular, it's still accusative though.
Yeah, just start writing. Well, it's not a female poet. By default. You're right. I mean, I'm being sexist here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just my brain wants to do the a thing.
Yeah.
So tone, poietain. Right.
Tone poietain.
Wait, did I spell this wrong?
No, that's good. Yeah, but okay, there you
go. Okay. Tone poietain. Now we got ni. So now we have another double one. Hate these double ones.
Oh, the double ones are just like kind of silly because
I'm just talking shit.
It is silly because like the vocative kind of goes without saying, but
yep. So that's plural of the young men, and then the vocative is like that. Or no?
It's the same. Yeah.
Same one. What am I talking about?
It's not going to change.
Okay. The young man.
Yep.
Oh, young man.
Right.
Oh, young men. All right. Now we flip it to we flip it to singular. So neanias. Right?
Yeah.
Neanias, and then something wrong?
No, it's just okay. Yeah, it's right. Just want to make sure I didn't have a typo in there.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. Now we have nia.
No, but wait. It's oneanias, but it's oneania, not oneanias.
Oh, I think I just had that and I fixed it. I fixed it back for some reason.
Which gives you the answer to the next question.
Oh yeah, duh.
Yeah.
That's funny. And that would be young man.
Oh, young man.
And then we flip it to the vocative. I'm sorry, it's still vocative. We flip it to the plural of the vocative. And it's still the same, right? Isn't it still the same this?
Yeah, still
right?
O.
But we just pluralize it, which would be nia again.
Yep.
Boom. There we go. That's the finish. We're done with that. We can do a couple translators before we
dragging out.
Dragging out, yeah. Supposed to be a battle tonight. Let's see. Okay, so now what are we doing here? What's the rule here? Translate.
Dude, the first line is going to be your translation, and your second line is going to be your conversion from the plural to the singular or the singular to the plural. So, hoi
Change
kakoi
singular to
adelphoi.
plural.
Translate it. Yeah, translate it first.
First, we'll translate it. Okay.
Yes, translate it first.
The brothers. Kakoi is bad.
Bad. The bad brothers. Or the evil brothers.
Yeah.
But I like the bad brothers. There
Bad
you
brother.
go.
All right. So then now we have to do another line down, right?
Yep.
And we're changing it. Change singulars to. So this is already in the plural. So now we got to do. Oh.
No. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Kakos. Wait. Oh. Kakos.
Mm-hmm.
And then Adelphos.
Yep.
Boom.
There we go.
Okay. Number 2 is hoi kakoi politai.
Politai.
Politai. Hoi kakoi politai. And that's just the same as before, but we changed Adelphoi to politai. So the bad citizens.
Yep.
Unit 4 is not too hard so far. I'm sure it's going to get way harder though. Starting off kind of easy on me here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. If we flip it from the plural
Yep.
to the singular.
Yep. Start typing.
So it's ho.
Yep. I'm gonna start rushing you a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ho kakos again.
Uh,
Ho kakos, and then what's the word? Polites. Polites.
Yep. Politais.
Boom. Okay. So
By the way, for everybody watching, just the process of typing really wires like your hand-eye coordination to your brain. If you're trying to learn Greek and you're not learning to type in Greek, you're really missing out.
no, I'm so glad you've had me do this. And my brain, I'm already starting to be able to like kind of know where the keys are.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a really
by the
good
way,
feeling
if
when you can
anyone's
type
wondering-
without looking.
If anyone's wondering, I'm using an English keyboard. I'm not type. There's not. I have nothing on here. Can you see this?
But you can get a keyboard with Greek letters. Like I have stickers on my keyboard that have Greek letters.
I'm doing less. I have less cheating than you do. The only marks I have a couple of white marks. Tell me where to do grave accent, and because I'll never memorize that. That's way too hard. So I have. Look at you have acute. I have grave over here. I have the dative subscript here. I have a couple. That's all I have. But I have nothing else. And I just know that V is where I get the omega from. U is theta. Y is upsilon. W is sigma, final sigma. And that's it. And the rest corresponds. Like N is N. A is alpha.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The rest is all easy.
And Ashes, beautiful Ashes is asking, how do you set it up on a keyboard? It's different from Mac and PC. If you really want, anybody can reach out. Yeah, anybody can reach out if they want help. Yeah.
At some point, whether maybe tomorrow or something, I can show you how to do it.
On an iPhone.
You should have it on your phone. I have it on my phone all day. I can type on my phone all day.
Yeah, on the iPhone, you want to get an app called Hoplite Keyboard, Hoplite Polytonic Keyboard. And when you install it, you can set it up as your default keyboard so you can type polytonic. Or you can just use the native, like modern Greek keyboard. That also works. And on a Mac and a PC, the steps are a little bit different, but you go into your system preferences, you add a language, add a keyboard. We won't get into it, but it is very important. It's a very important step in like learning Greek, in my opinion.
And like you just said, it gives you the option. Do you want monotonic? Do you want polytonic? I use monotonic.
Yeah, don't let yourself get overwhelmed by polytonic and all of the accent marks. The important thing is emphasis on the right syllable. The rest is like it's fluff. It's it's nice. It's a nice touch. I like it. I type polytonic, but it took me a long time to learn, and I don't think anybody should get stuck on that.
Yeah. All right. So let's do tas, kakais, sukais. So this first we translate it, right?
Yeah,
And
Tice.
it's the bad souls.
Yeah, it's like 2-4.
Through the bad souls. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
2, 4. You should have told me no. I was wrong. I would have fixed it right away.
Or it could be the bad butterflies.
Oh yeah, that's right. Butterfly is the same
We
word.
we don't know. We don't know.
So now we got to flip it. Now we got to flip it to te. Te,
Yeah.
dative, and kake. Oops. De kake. Oh wait, I gotta also do the what's it called? Yeah, you
Yeah.
can fix that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So it would be te, kake with circumflex and iota subscript.
And then suke. And the letter C is sigma. Get it? C, sigma, like it's the closest one because we already have
No, not sigma. Psi. The letter C is psi.
Wait, I said sigma. I'm sorry.
You said sigma.
I meant C. Yeah.
Yeah, psi.
So psi is the closest thing you're gonna get. Like the only leftover letter we have in English that's the closest thing is C because it's psi. Get it? I like how they do that. I like Google. Good job on that one. That was easy to remember. Su, and then K, because you already have X. X is already taken for that. K is already taken for that. You know what I'm saying? So left over. The only thing left over is the letter C, which is sigma or C. And then we have this weird that one again. Okay.
Yeah, and you could copy and paste from here because it needs a circumflex accent.
Yeah. Okay.
And someone in the chat asked, does Greek become easier if you speak Spanish or any other Romance language? Not quite. The subjunctive mood is easier to understand if you're a Spanish speaker because Spanish has subjunctive. So like, ojalá que te guste is like that. That's the subjunctive mood in Spanish. So
I'm sure Italian has some leftover Greek stuff, right? No?
I mean, I started with Russian and then Spanish and then French and then Greek. And Russian was the only language that was like super applicable.
Italian's closer to Etruscan than Greek.
Well, Italian's descended from Latin. Latin's a sister cousin language to Greek, but Spanish
closer to, not from.
The issue is that Spanish is a super simplified form of Latin. And so it's really like you're not when you're a Spanish speaker.
No, but it has a lot of influence from Arabic.
It has some influence. Yeah, like the phrase I just said, "Ojalá que te guste" means I hope to Allah that you like it. That's literally what that means, and it comes from Arabic influence on Spanish.
I don't think people realize Spain was conquered by the Arabs for a long centuries, and their language got influenced heavily by Arabic. There's a whole bunch of Arabic borrowing in Spanish. It's pretty interesting.
Sure.
Anyways, Tais adikois sukais.
Yeah.
So this would be first I translate it. So this is dative plural. So 2 for the just. Oh no, the unjust. It's got got the alpha primitive.
Alpha privative. So
the unjust souls. And then to the unjust souls, 2 4. And now we're gonna flip it to the singular, which would be toy.
Toy. My fingers are crossed for you on this one.
For what? Is there some sort of trick going to happen?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you won't. Maybe I'm not giving you enough credit. Oh, sorry.
Wait, I'm wrong, aren't I?
It's that.
Okay, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Is that the finger cross thing or something else?
Well, now I'm still crossing my fingers for this one.
I think I know what you're. I think I just figured you out.
Good.
I think you broke up.
I gave too much away.
You gave a game away. Oh.
There you go.
But
And why
Suke stays with the eta.
Yeah.
Suke. And I'll just
And I'll give you a little smooth breathing here. Okay, good. So why did we get an omega with an iota subscript there?
Because that's the second that's the first declension noun.
Well, it's no. Adikos, right? What the nominative is adikos.
Wait, what?
Adikos, yeah, but adikos is a special type of noun that we reviewed in this chapter 4 that falls into a certain...
adikos? You said adikos.
Adikos. It's a second declension noun.
But are you talking about the nominative word or dative?
Hold on a second. Let me just share something real quick, just so we can see. I just want to make sure you anchor this. Okay. This is adikos. This is the two ending adjectives of the second declension.
Yeah,
so
but that's not dative anymore.
Dative is what you gave us here, adikoi, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that this has the os u o, which would normally belong to the masculine, but in this case we're applying it to the feminine because there's no feminine ending.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So this is a two ending a dikatalikto adjective. That's what I just wanted to make sure was clear.
That's why I said suke remains the a because it's feminine.
Yeah. No, you handled it perfectly. I just want to make sure everybody understands why it was correct.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
All right. So now we have tus, which is genitive. Accusative plural. So it would be two. It would be
just direct object. It's not two. It's just
two or
at whatever.
Poets.
Yeah.
Bad poets. Bad poets object.
Yep.
Object. Oh wait, no. I can. When I'm translating, I don't have to write that. So because we're translating.
It's literally just bad poets.
The bad poets, though, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, the bad poets. You're right.
Yeah. So that way I don't have to write object because the word "the's" there, right?
Yes, the. Well, I mean, it's direct object, so it is still something you could put a parenthesis there just to make it clear.
Okay. Yeah, want to do that? Should we do that?
Sure.
Because if it was nominative, you write subject. I got you. Okay. So.
And what position is that called?
What position?
Yeah, so you have a definite article and a noun and a definite article and an adjective.
I don't remember what the position is.
It's called attributive position.
I would never have guessed that. That's tribute. Oh, because there's the other one called there's a double one, right?
Yeah. So ho poietes ho kakos is attributive position, or ho kakos poietes. It's the same. Those are both attributive position.
Got it.
The other position is called predicate position, where it's a complete sentence, like where it's like the poet is bad. Ho poietes kakos.
Okay.
Then it's a complete sentence. So this is not a complete sentence. This is a sentence fragment.
Yeah. Now tone. It's poietain.
Yes.
Okay, getting the hang of it. Poietain, I should say.
Yeah, poietain.
Poietain.
And that's the thing is, if people didn't notice already, there may be people in the audience that realize I say PT, PTs. For me, it's PTs because I speak. But for the sake of my lessons with Neil, I use Erasmian or whatever pronunciation.
While we're on that topic that you just mentioned that you pronounce it that way, and I notice a lot of the Ammonites will give you shit for that. If they read Horrocks, they would realize that this is not that crazy. There are early in the Hellenistic period is, I think they even like even as far as 200 BC, there are some areas. I think they mentioned like Cyprus. I don't know. I'm just making some up. The book says there are some areas that start to pronounce the vowels shifting towards modern, even as early as 200 BC.
It starts in Egypt. It happens in Asia Minor, and basically the Hellenistic period is the transition from Attic grammar and pronunciation to Byzantine. That's like the trajectory.
And then modern,
and pretty early in the Hellenistic period, people were already starting like the oi in poietes became u, and the eta became e. And by the time you get in the Byzantine period, like you're like people like Plethon and what was the guy Manuel Manuel, what was his last name? Like the Byzantine poet.
Manuel,
Manuel. What was
his name? I can't remember
last name. But anyways, any writers of Greek in the Byzantine period are going to pronounce Greek
based. Philes.
Yeah, Philes. So they basically, even though they have a really strong command of Attic or Atticizing learned Greek, they pronounce Greek the way that a modern Orthodox priest would pronounce it.
Isn't that interesting that that Purple Medicine poem is pronounced the way you pronounce it?
Yeah. So even though there's a whole group of people that believe that I only know modern Greek, and I think anybody who's watched this far into the video,
that's just bad faith shit right there. Yeah. Just bad faith. I hate when they're just all liars, man. Anyways, what's it called? So suke a axia.
Hey, if you want to do,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Suke hey haxia. Axia. I fixed that. Which would be axia. We just learned that word, didn't we?
I don't remember. You mean it was it? It was in this chapter.
All right, if you don't mind, can I just go? I'm just going to go back real quick. I have the book right here. Axia is.
You don't want me to give it away?
Oh, just look it up. Let me just look it up. It's when I look things up, I memorize it better. If you just tell me, I'll forget. Axia. It's axios. From axios, worthy. Worthy. So, okay. So what do we got here? We got axia would be the it's plural. So I'm sorry. Plural, nominative, the worthy souls. Right? The worthy souls?
No.
Oh, no. The worthy soul. Worthy
or butterfly.
Soul. The worthy soul. It's just nominative. Right?
Or butterfly.
Or butterfly. It really could be, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the worthy soul. And then I guess I already said plural would be so we're flipping into plural, so it would be high. Wait, I don't have to switch.
But you have to keep the word order. Keep the word order.
Okay, so sukai. Sukai. And then high. Right? Axii.
And this is where we get axiom, axiomatic, axiology, like the study of value or worth.
Why am I blanking out on where xi is?
It's J.
That's right. J. Axii.
Yep. And you want a little accent mark in there. You want to go like XCI.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to now we on toi adikoi polite.
But sorry, no, I messed that up. My bad. Sorry, everybody. It's Oxii.
Okay, you're good. 2, 4. It's dative. 2-4, the
Oh, it's-
unjust.
And also, your stress mark is going to go on the final syllable. So it's not going to go on the alpha. It's going to go on the iota. I didn't see you type that.
Okay, my bad. 2-4, the unjust citizen. Now the flip would be tois.
Mm-hmm.
Tois adicus. Right? Dicus?
Well, it's not ooze.
Oh, ois.
Yep, ois.
Tois adicois. Wait, is it adicois? Tois adicois or adicois?
No, it's adicois because the ois actually moves. It causes the stress to move from the adikos to the adicois.
Okay.
So you're correct.
And then it's politais. Politais.
Yep.
Politais. Here we go. All right. Then we have tone axion sukon, which would be of. First of all, we got genitive, so of.
Well, it's of the, right? So tone is translated as of the.
Of the worthy souls. Just learned that word.
Or of the worthy butterflies.
It's true. That's true.
The textbook doesn't tell you that, though.
No, it doesn't. I think it just wants you to kind of do what makes the most sense, you know.
Yeah. That's a good policy.
Are butterflies worthy? I guess they are worthy. They're pretty beautiful. So,
Yeah.
Now we flip it. Now we flip it to axiu.
I'm just not going to say anything. It'll hit you.
No,
Yeah, it'll hit
that's
you.
not right.
Well, look now get to the final word, and you'll start to realize that you made a mistake.
But I don't understand. This is genitive. This is genitive, right?
It's genitive, but then follow it through. Go all the way to the end of the line, and then figure out if it works. Write out the word. Well, you get the base of the word, psych, right? Psych. There you go. And what ending are you going to choose for the genitive singular of psyche? Psyche. Yemen in psyche.
Ace.
Yeah. Ace.
Is that
Okay.
wrong?
That's right. So now you have this mismatch. You have two axiu psyches.
So what?
Kakon.
Oh.
It's not good. Like it needs to be feminine.
Oh,
Yeah.
ace.
Taste. There you go.
Gotcha. Okay. It's not,
Taste.
not
Well,
really-
but you're still at taste axiu, right?
It'd be axi. XCA.
Taste axi. It's not ooh.
Eh? No, that doesn't look right.
It's a little closer.
XCA?
That's close. That's close. Very
What is it?
close. You're hot.
Give me
It's os.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right.
Now, maybe there's some dialectical form that's like axies, right? But standard Attic Greek would be tes axios psyches
Okay. Got it.
of the worthy soul.
So the works, the bad works.
Yep. The evil deeds, the bad deeds.
Yeah, I'll put deeds. And then now we got to flip it to from. So ta is ta is a neuter plural, right?
Yes.
So we got to go to neuter nominative. So
Yep.
to.
Yep.
To ergon.
Yep. Can you give me a stress mark on there?
Ergon.
Yeah, there you go.
To ergon, and then To again.
Mm-hmm.
Kakon.
Yep. Toergon tokakon. There you go.
Awesome. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's finish this one off. Might as well get a nice little clean ending, right?
Yeah. And then
What do you think? We should
and
keep
then
going
Dracarys.
here.
Yeah.
Do you want to do one of these just to touch it? What do you think?
No, just do 10, 11, and 12.
Okay. All right. And then because that's been enough. How much time has it been? 2.5 hours. Yeah, we're good on that. All right. So, dative.
Putting in the work. Putting in the work.
So this is dative, not singular. So 2, 4. 2, 4. 2, 4. The unjust.
The. So with 2 for the, right?
Yeah, I got that.
Yep.
2, 4. The unjust. Man, young man. And then we flip it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we toys. Because that's dative. Toys, adikois. Decoys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Decoys. Toys, decoys, nia.
No, it's not Nia, it's Nea.
Yeah, I do that often. That's one of my big mistakes that I make a lot.
I do it too when I speak English because we say neo, like neologism, and when we speak English, we pronounce that Greek prefix with a ni.
I mean, my
instead of a
name
ne.
really has that, so it just comes off that way.
Yeah, neo, neo.
I don't say nail,
Ne.
Now I'm instead again. Nice. There we go.
Yes.
Right?
Toys, decoys, neais.
Okay. And then number 11 is te axion thalaton. And that is the worthy object. Right? Accusative?
Yep, the worthy seat.
And now we flip the accusative to accusative plural would be toss. Toss. Ox. Eos. And then plural word thalatas. Thalatas. Okay.
Now, quick question, pop quiz.
Okay.
So we have.
You just off first or no?
No. Just on this. So we have axios, right?
Uh-huh.
But then that turns into hey axia. Sorry. Axia.
So that's feminine, not masculine and feminine.
Masculine and feminine. Why is it axios but axia? Why isn't it
Long alpha
hey,
is
axia?
alpha is a short vowel, right? Yeah.
Well, why isn't it hey axia? Why is this wrong? Why is this wrong?
I don't know. It just feels right for some reason. Axia.
It does feel right. Why does it feel right?
Because the iota. But why doesn't it pull it over here? I don't know. Why is that?
It's because the alpha is
short.
No, the alpha is long.
How do you know that?
You know that because the stress moves towards it.
But that's begging the question.
No, it doesn't beg the question, because if it were this, it would be impossible. So basically, the fact that the stress is moving from the antepenultimate syllable to the penultimate syllable is evidence that the alpha is long.
What if you didn't know that, though? What if someone just gave you a blank piece of paper and were like, show me where the stress goes? You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't if it were just a random word, like if you didn't know that, because this falls into a pattern of long alpha pulling the stress towards it.
I know it's established in the language, so we're fine there. I'm saying if you were just an alien and you had no idea, you would think it's Oxia or Oxio.
You would think it's Oxia, but the thing is, what Oxia is a valid form in the neuter, because it would be to oxion versus ta oxia. So ta oxia it has a short alpha in the end because it's neuter plural, but hey oxia, it has a long alpha because it's pulling the stress towards it. So you can infer the length of the final vowel by the stress pattern.
Got it.
So it's just a fun little trick.
And
if you're the kind of person who ignores word stress and pretends it doesn't matter or fumbles it all the time because you never had it drilled into you by a teacher or the language itself, you just would be oblivious to this information. But if you pay attention to it and you discipline yourself to always obey the word stress, you're going to pick up on this stuff a lot more easily.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you're going to spell Greek correctly, which is good.
Yeah. So you have hi gefurai.
Yeah.
I'm changing it to plural now. And then hi again, kakai. That's pretty easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
They haven't. So I'm just want to look ahead for a second, because this is easy so far. Where is the aeon and the a? Where's all that? Here we go, right here. So this is where it starts to get harder, right?
The conditional sentences are a real pain, and that's when you're going to want to look back at that cheat sheet, and it's going to that's going to be grueling.
My best friend pretty soon.
Yes, that's like I had an older version of that I opened up today that I created like 10 years ago when I first started this. And I updated it to that version that's actually a lot clearer than the one I originally created. But I think you and I should do a separate lesson where we bang out the conditional sentences and then maybe pick.
Okay, when's the next time you're free to do this again?
Next weekend.
So let's do the same time next weekend. And I'm honestly, I'm going to say, like, we got this already, right? We could just get rid of this, right? We don't have to do this. This is the same thing we've just been doing.
It's up to you. You could do it on your own if you want me to.
I can do this on my own.
Yeah, do it on your own.
I will. I promise. But I want to get into the nuts and bolts, or not the nuts, but the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
I want to get. This is where it starts, because I think the reason why I'm not deleting this one, even though it's not that hard, because it's introducing the apodosis.
Yeah.
And this is where it's going to get tough. We're going to do this one, and then this is where it's going to get tough. So next Saturday or Sunday, when you guys, the 200 people that are still watching, dropped off from like 400, but that's great. If you guys are interested in this, I'm glad. I'm going to keep doing this. Even if there's not a lot of super chat, this is just fun to do anyway.
Yeah, we'll change the title and the description to Unit 4.
Yeah,
Unit 4. Unit 4A.
I'm gonna not know a lot of this. You're gonna see me going like this a lot. Clicking on this page and checking, is it future less vivid? Is it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna know this. And I remember getting this far with Amin and having to check back at the chapter to see where it was. This is hard. This is not easy.
And this is more or less what is in that chapter. It's just color coded and presented in a way that's a little bit easier to digest visually.
Oh yeah, the way you set this up is way better than the book has it. Way better. But anyways, yeah, I'm just going to delete that off. We're not going to start off and waste 45 minutes on the same thing we just did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going to get right into the apodosis next time. That's the real final boss of Unit 4.
Protosis and apodosis.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's it for now. We're gonna go watch some house tomorrow night. I don't know if Mandy's in the chat. Yes, he is. Tomorrow night, I'm doing an official Odyssey review. I did my initial thoughts when I got out of the theater, but I've had some time to sit down and think about it now and really, digest the film that I watched, and I have my thoughts on it. So tomorrow night, Mandy, John, and maybe someone else too. I think maybe a 4 screens will do, and get our thoughts on it all.
Yeah.
So.
And if anybody wants to pick up Greek lessons with me, just go to crossbible.com and then hit the contact form and reach out. I'm happy to take on more Greek students on my Saturday class or do privates if you want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, that's it. We can close out.
All right. Drakaris.
Dracarys. Yes. Let's see what happens tonight. I'm excited. All right,
Valar Morgulis.
You've attained Greek gnosis.
You have just attained true gnosis. The demiurge has no power over you.